from your vantage point, perhaps if you went higher on the middle mountain, you could, but you might risk heading into cold environments that would be dangerous for you and your companions since you're ill prepared for it. It might be better to just go back down to ground level, or to the start, and check one of the other two.
Please, let's go further up the mountain. Drac would enjoy watching the elf freeze to death slowly.
I will look at everyone and just point out to the right peak. Since you're doing it now.
It's spreading. All right. So, do y'all want to go with what she says?
Restad nods and starts walking. Yeah.
I trust the magic elf eyes.
All right. You head up.
Their absurd perception.
You head up the right peak. As you start making your way up the narrower and narrower channels, everyone roll a perception check. And it is average.
Which is plus 10?
Plus 20.
20.
Good enough. Nobody else needs to roll. Wrist. Wrist and Verve. Both of you, as you're moving up, hear a weird rhythmic, like, it's almost like a clacking sound coming from some of the slopes above you that, like, you're kind of the peak on a slope, it gets, more and more narrow as you go up the paths, and they kind of zigzag their way up the peak. But from above, even though you can't see what's causing it, both of you distinctly hear a very bizarre sound that sounds like, it sounds like hard pieces of bark or shell hitting the rock repeatedly.
What is that racket?
I will look at Wrist and say...
Does it sound like drums?
No.
Only if drums are like banging turtle shells on a stone.
Think more of if I took like a solid stick from like a shovel, just the stick part, and was like rhythmically tapping the ground with it.
I will say it sounds like someone is mining, perhaps?
It's too fast for that.
It's a blind giant with his walking stick.
It sounds like someone is tapping rhythmically and quickly up there, just against the stone.
That's oddly specific. What do you think they're doing?
It does halt and stutter occasionally, but it remains moderately consistent.
What do I know from being a dwarf and knowing shit about mining? That could this possibly be a mining technique?
No, it's definitely not. It's definitely not something you've heard before on the outside of a peak. On the inside, you might have some suspicions, but on the outside of the slopes, no, this is weird.
Okay.
How many legs do you think the maximum it is possible to have?
I will blink at the halfling, confused.
Well, I just thought, what is the worst possible thing? And I thought, well, maybe it isn't a stick being tapped very fast, but a whole lot of legs scrambling about all at once.
Also,
shut up.
PSA, it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You'll have about 4 hours of sunlight left.
Have we found any signs of the shrine?
Would you...
No, but there may be something really vicious up there for you to kill.
I'm talking out of character.
You have not gotten that far up. Like, you're like 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes into this climb.
I will look at the halfling and say, if you keep inventing things, maybe they are going to come true. So think of nicer things, halfling.
I was thinking of those big spiders. They're not invented, are they? You mean if I stop thinking about them, they'll go away?
Until you see them in person.
That's brilliant! Oh, that's not as brilliant. You had to get my hopes up. So Drax, there may be something really big and vicious for you to kill up ahead.
Just curious, what's y'all's marching order?
I was in the lead because I was ranging.
Okay, you can only be a maximum of 2 wide.
I'd probably
Drac
be in the back
is
too.
bringing up the rear, I presume.
So it's me and the halfling in front? What?
No, I'll go in front with you though.
I mean, the halfling's about as tough as the humans.
No, the halfling isn't.
All right, so I'm gonna do human and I'm gonna put mages in front, then halfling, then dwarf.
Okay.
All right, sorry. Continue.
I will.
Pain in the front because you've pissed me off repeatedly. So I ain't standing next to you.
Such are the consequences.
As the guy that personally guaranteed this result.
I will motion to everyone, and I'm gonna see if I can actually stealth.
Ooh, okay.
New stuff.
So exotic.
You said Rover. I have a message from Ben that tells me exactly what it does.
Good. You should update that under the talent's description, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yes. Bystanders not get past for this. More fucking stealth doom trees.
That was added when the trees were moving.
So what is it? Does it give me a bonus?
Rover will give you
+1 success level if you pass.
Yeah, +1 success
okay,
level
gotcha.
if you pass, but it makes it so that the enemy cannot take passive perception checks to detect you. Meaning that if you stealth and you move on to like the next map where something may happen, I would not automatically roll the second we move to it. I would only roll if you did something like cause noise, or they like saw you or think they see you, or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Not super great.
So if you don't pass, they will still get a passive check, but they will test against your stealth bonus.
Yes.
So you got a thing of -1. Do you still want to proceed by yourself?
Seeing how much noise I'm making, or how clumsy I am apparently drunk today.
On magic.
I will say, is anyone else good at sneaking that can go take a peek?
I was gonna say the dwarf looks at the halfling, but he's not racist towards them because he doesn't know that stereotype.
Well, you
Shadow
might be able to
save.
infer that he's small, so he's at least hard to see.
Sure, yeah.
Not in a
Well,
racist
I'm
way, but in a
not-
common sense way.
Yeah, as the human turns to Rist, because I assume Vergstadt does look at the halfling.
Yes, and he will say,
Oh,
"I'm sorry, Riss, but I'm no good at sneaking around."
I'm not the sort that sneaks around. See, town guard don't really sneak around. They kind of walk down the street, ringing the bell, shouting all is well and all that. I'm not really good at the whole sneaking, but I could give it a try.
I'm
Step
sorry, I
one,
didn't
how
mean to
car-
assume.
Stop
be.
talking.
Just stay low.
Alright, holding my mouth shut, I crouch down Skyrim fashion before getting 3 feet and saying, that's hard to hold. Why would anyone crouch like that? I go another 3 feet and start clutching my leg as I fall over, going, that hurts a lot.
All right, hold on a second. Oh, jeez. All right, the halfling falls over and effectively squeals in agony as he uses his thigh muscles for probably the first time in that fashion in his life, and engages muscle groups that did not know that existed, and they communicate to his brain that they're not fond of being burnt into existence. And as he continues to
resist the urge to become prejudiced against halflings.
as you hear as the halfling continues to mope and cry about how much pain he's in, all of you hear a very nasty shriek from above you, and the clattering sound gets really fast.
All right, Rist, what did you invent?
Run away!
Monty Python.
Roll
Drac, get up front.
initiative.
I did not roll a 10 this time. I rolled an 8 though.
So I should be around there, Sotek?
Yes.
Hooray! Second one on initiative.
The gods have blessed me.
Oh, my leg!
The halfling just immediately enters damsel of distress mode. Oh.
Is it possible with time to have the two wizards learn the ebb and flow of each other's magic and aid in the attempt of it not going out of control?
Yeah, I get you.
I'm back.
All right, great. Verve, you're up first. You hear a clacking sound, and you see a very large spider. It's about as big as you, crawling down a very steep cliff edge somehow, with a goblin riding on its back, cackling as they descend upon the halfling. I'll move more over here.
All right, let's begin to zap away.
The only person who will need a fear check for the spider is the halfling. Which will happen when his turn comes around.
So, 7 damage.
Nice. All right, you do you want it to target? Well, you got +2, so you can hit the rider and the mount both.
Yeah.
All right. So you call upon the winds of magic and throw out another spark of electricity that surges through the air and slams into the goblin spider rider, dealing. And you said it's 7 damage.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So to the spider, armor of 1. And then toughness of 3 is 4, minus 7 is... Oh, wait, no, this is the goblin. Yeah, this is the goblin. So the rider takes 4 damage total, which from 11 is 7. Alright, and then the spider has a toughness of 4 and armor of 1, so he takes 1 less damage, but he also has more wounds, so he's 13 wounds, so he only takes 3 damage. He's down to 10. All right, the spider squeals, but doesn't, but seems very secure to the wall as it thrashes around a little bit. But the rider kind of smacks it a few times with his spider fang spear, trying to get it back under control. So next, although you don't see them on the turntable because I've got it written down because they're not a separate model. The rider goes next. He can't do anything. So Verstat, you're up.
All right, Verstat will take a step to his right, so the dwarf can get through, and then he will gather up some magical energy in his palm and fire it at the rider.
Okay. Yeesh. Man, you're just fucking scary today.
So both of them and 8 damage.
Alright, so you also throw out your hands, chanting the winds of magic, trying to call Azir to your name, and you unleash a giant flaming bolt that spins in the air and saws into the two of them. And it does 8 damage, so the goblin... Oh, he actually would have taken 1 less because he has a shield, so he's actually at 8. So he mitigates by 3 for toughness, 1 for armor, 1 for shield. So he mitigates by 5, which is going to get him down to 3, so he'll go down to 5. And then the spider he subtracts 5 off as well, so... Alright, they both get hit, and there's a lot of squealing and shouting. Drac, you're up.
Drac is going to walk past the other two and then yank the dwarf out of the, or yank the halfling out of the way of the spider behind him.
Okay, you just want to like push him behind you?
Yeah.
That's fine. Alright, it's the spider's turn. The spider, angrily, lets out a chitinous shriek before descending upon the dwarf, fangs snapping. So I'll give it So feel free to roll a parry check or a dodge, whichever you want to go with. So it charges. All right. As the creature's fangs come down, you throw your buckler up at its face, and its fangs. Oh. Hold up for a sec. Okay, so you throw up your shield to block it, but just as you parry it, it does bring its teeth crunching down on the shield. Let me check something real quick. Weapon damage, armor damage, armor damage, armor damage. Armor damage, armor damage. Armor damage, armor damage. Because he parried successfully, but that shield is also going to get crunched. There it is, critical deflection. Alright, you do successfully block the creature's attack. However, such is the spider's strength and the way it catches the shield that its teeth puncture through it and crumple the shield. It no longer provides you any bonuses until it's repaired.
Okay.
And you do gain an advantage since you won the check.
How did the spider roll a double or something?
Yes, he critted.
Okay.
So we use the critical deflection rule. All right. Next up is wrist. Take a fear check. There's a giant frickin' spider, and he's much bigger than you.
He's also not directly in your face anymore, though.
What is the modifier for the fear check again?
I don't think there is one. It's just an extended check based on the fear level, but it's only fear 1 since it's one size bigger than you.
Okay.
But if you fail it, you get minus 10 to all your stats.
Alright, so I fail my fear. Can it reach me behind the dwarf?
No, because you're actually right here. Oh, I gotta move the other spiders.
The dwarf had zero faith in your ability to overcome your fear.
I gallantly make room for people more competent than me. And we'll pick up a rock and chuck it at the goblin.
Okay, you do suffer minus 20 total, because I think you get minus 10 for attacking target of fear, and minus 10 to all stats.
Alright.
Nope. The rock flings past the goblin's head and goes scattering off. Verve, roll a quick perception check. Plus 20.
Plus my advantage.
Yes. All right, you hear more clacking sounds coming from above. It's your turn.
With that perception, can I also scout, like, loose rocks? Stuff like that?
Sure? What do you mean by loose rocks?
To create like landslide?
Yeah.
Oh, no, not on these type of slopes. They're not that tall, and most of the rocks... There is no congregation of large stones. And each of these cliff sides is so steep and high enough that you can't even see if there's anything on the road above you.
Okay. Alright. I will tell the others that there is more coming down. We should find a defensible area or hide once this one's dead. And I will, again, zap.
We should hide. Proceeds to call down lightning.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Better than the quarterstaff of betrayal. Oh, Jesus. Alright.
Side note, how heavy does this spider look?
It's probably about as heavy as you are, maybe a hair lighter, but they're giant spiders.
Gotcha.
So like spider riders from tabletop.
I was considering trying to like leverage it off the
you
toss
could
it off.
you could probably pull that off, but it would be dangerous.
Yeah.
That being said, that will be unnecessary in this
Yeah.
instance because Verve, horrified at seeing the dwarf nearly seeing the dwarf get his arm bitten off by the spider's fangs as it continues to reach him, reaches deep down and throws her hands forward, and there is a clap of audible, bone-shaking thunder as a bolt surges out from her hands and slams into the spider and rider both, causing the spider to shriek, and it falls and immediately rolls past the dwarf and collapses off the mountain dead with its rider. Vertstat, you're up.
Alright, Verstat will quietly
Damn it, I need
say...
to farm it for more advantage.
Okay, this one's gonna be scared because of that.
Verstat will quietly say, everyone hug the wall. And then he will hug the wall. And
Drac,
try
you're
and
up.
Stealth, I guess.
Drag will
be
also
stealthy.
step against the wall.
Alright, all of you hear the clacking sound above, but after the, like, massive thunderclap, all of you hear the steps stop, and then you hear them again with spider shrieking, but you hear it moving further away.
I will.
This one's not afraid.
Drac will look out for the telltale things of a rock slide or anything caused by the loud thunderclap disturbing shit.
Nah, everything's too solid
Alright.
for that.
Cool.
You feel very safe here, like, as long as you don't get too close to the edge. Wrist, you're up. You are no longer afraid, because the target of your fear is gone.
I promptly move behind any lightning the elf may shoot out of her fingers, and not between it and targets, and cower.
Alright, Verve?
Okay. They sounded like they were moving away.
Yes.
Okay. In what direction do I hear this?
You hear it running off to the left.
Right.
So, like, over here?
Ish.
Okay.
It's
And
safe to say,
these slopes here, how hard are they to traverse?
Sheer.
They're sheer. Like, it would be
okay.
very difficult to climb them.
Okay.
The spiders are only able to do it because of spiders. They have the wall crawler trait.
I can go. I'm movement 5. So what is that?
So you can walk 10, but since you're in combat, you can move up to 20.
Okay. I will move. So here, 8. About there.
Remember, you can hit spacebar to create like a node.
right click while you're holding onto your token.
Right,
Q.
but how do you get it to? Oh, it's Q.
It's Q or right click.
Yeah, there you go. It doesn't have to be precisely 20. It just needs to be vaguely around 20. Y'all are pretty much done with this fight, but there is still something else. Right, Vertstat, you can go ahead and go.
Okay. I will continue to hug the wall.
All right, Drac, you're up.
Drac walks forward.
Okay, Drac and Vertstat, from your positions.
Verve.
Sorry. Yes, you are able to spy the two goblin riders and it is now.
So that was my movement, right?
Yes.
Oh, never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, you could actually still take an action,
Yeah.
but
Still retreating.
you can see them from the top of those steps.
I am going to.
Jesus, Aztec, what did you do?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
What'd I do?
Yeah,
You're.
Oh my god, yeah. Your
I think you
character.
pinged like 40 billion times by accident or something because you were moving at a snail's pace and there were like it was a solid line of.
it was super goofy looking. Anyway, go ahead, Verf.
I will zap the one I see up top here.
Okay. Yeah, he seems aggressively speeding towards you guys. The other one doesn't look so much.
Yeah, I will zap him.
Now's the point where the elf miscasts and blows me off the mountain.
Yeah.
Oh god.
You had to say something. Foul.
Do you
Thank
have
you.
a fortune point?
Oh, this is too good. You can reroll, you know.
Okay.
You can always ask a dark god to give you, a reroll.
That's true. You could petition the darker powers.
Yeah, I will do that.
Oh God.
What the fuck?
The
All
elf
right.
is petitioning the dark
So-
powers to not kill the dwarf.
Elf, you feel almost some sinuous whispers through your long ears, and you almost feel this light but chilling yet burning hot caress across the tip of your ears and the back of your neck. And you hear a faint whisper, but you're not quite able to make out what it says. But if you embrace it, then you can attempt to wrangle this magic under control.
And if I accept this as a corruption point,
Yes,
right?
you gain a corruption point, and you may reroll.
Okay. Yes, I will do so.
All right.
Of course, it's Slanesh.
Yeah, Korn might be having an off day. You don't know.
To help with magic?
Sure. Off day.
That would be more opposite day. wouldn't
Off
it?
day! Alright, you zap successfully. And you can hit both the rider and mount. Your bolt hurtles across and slams into the spider rider, and will do a little bit of damage. What's your Whippar's 5, so 7.
Yeah, 7.
So 7 minus 5 2 is 9. And then for the spider, it's got 13, but it's got the exact same amount of armor, so it's going to lose 2, which will put it at 11. Alright, the lightning, the bolt of energy does crackle into them, and it spreads, and they kind of shake violently for half a moment, but they seem to push through it fairly quick. Wrist,
So,
you're up. Oh wait, no, spiders are up. What's up, Trek? Foul? Hello?
I can hear you.
Foul, if you're talking, I can't hear you. Uh-oh.
User in your channel timed out.
Oh, there he goes.
Uh-oh.
Alright, that's fine. We'll come back to him in a second. I'll go ahead and move this spider. This one is not interested. And he's actually going to move his full distance using a action, and he will you see him creepily crawl directly across the sheer rock and over a sharp point, and he vanishes vanishes around a dark corner. Wrist, you're up.
All right, Ben, what do you do?
I run to the safety of the group.
Smart choice. Verv, you're up.
Oh, we didn't do Aztec. We missed Aztec.
He moved up.
Yeah, I moved up.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I forgot to move this spider. Silly me, because I was waiting for Drek to get back. He will move his full movement. Boop.
Does he see us?
Oh yeah, he sees you. Well, he can't really miss the lady that's screaming magic words and throwing shit at him.
Fair enough.
Oh my god.
Ooh, it was almost a fail.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so you unleash another bolt of lightning, taking a terrible, terrible advantage of the fact that these poor bastards don't have bows. Do you want to target the rider or the mount? Because you only got 1 success level.
I'm targeting the mount.
All right, the lightning slams into the spider, and it crackles across its chitinous hide, but doesn't seem to have too much effect. Verstat, you need to at least get to the stairs to be able to see the spider.
Yep.
Which you can do and have an action. You should have enough space.
Yeah, no, I'm good. So I will move behind Drac over to this corner, and I should be able to have a line of sight from there. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. And then I will...
No, you need to be on the stair. At least on the stair. Yeah. There you go.
Then I will let loose a flame spike at the rider.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Alright, so the spell unfortunately fizzles in your hands, and, oh, Foul lost power.
This is definitely not the glade. Oh, he lost power. That sucks.
Yeah, let me check with him to see if it's, like, it seems like it's staying that way. No, we're almost there. Hope everyone's enjoying themselves. This one's a lot less talky than the last one.
This is cool, yeah.
Fucking spiders.
Fucking spiders, mate.
I do believe I have been competently incompetent.
Well, at least you didn't cut the dwarf's health in half.
Yeah.
Just fucking whack.
I've caused so much damage.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're pretty deeply applied into being the villain at this point. Intentionally or not.
You just accepted a corruption point. What was that?
It's either that or have a super miscast.
I was gonna say, it was either that or he was gonna create more mutant babies, so...
So, I did damage to me. I can do damage to the world. Plus, I need... Max corruption is 9 for me. I just got 1.
I mean, my first mutation might be something tame, like only being slightly crazy.
And him communicating with the dark powers or something he does internally, right? That's not something we can tell.